Good evening, students. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will start our second chapter, that is matter around us pure? This is your second chapter of science subject. In the previous three sessions we have completed the chapter matter, and this chapter is related to matter, but something more details. That chapter is matter around us pure. So this chapter is also related to matter, and as you know what is matter, you know what is matter. The matter is something that occupies space and has mass. Matter is something that occupies space and has mass. So it is something that occupies space and has mass. Clear? It is something that occupies space and has mass. Now matter can be classified into two parts. This matter can be classified into two parts, and each and every part has some their properties, some exceptions. So we will study all these things in this chapter. Clear? So matter at first classified into two parts. One is your pure substance and the another one is impure substance. So first one is your pure substance and the second one is your impure substance. Impure substance, this is also known as mixtures. Impure substance also known as mixtures. Clear? So one is pure substance and another one is impure substance. Impure substance or mixtures. Now pure substance can also further subdivided into two parts. Pure substance can also further subdivided into two parts. One is your elements and the another one is your compounds. Clear? Now what are elements? Elements are something that cannot be broken into simpler substances. Elements are something that cannot be broken down into further simpler substance. That means it cannot be broken. You cannot break elements. It is already in your simple form. You cannot break down elements further to make it into a simpler one. That is your element. Clear? And what are compounds? Compounds, they have fixed composition and they can be broken down. Clear? Compounds have fixed composition and they can be broken down into simpler substance by some chemical or electrochemical reaction. So these are the difference between elements and compounds. Elements cannot be broken down, compounds can be broken down. Elements don't have any fixed composition, compounds have fixed composition. Clear? So in elements it cannot be broken down, or you cannot cannot be broken into simpler substances. Into simpler substances, cannot be broken into simpler substances. What can be example of elements are like copper can be example, oxygen can be example, hydrogen can be example. All these are elements. So copper, oxygen, hydrogen, these are the examples of elements. Copper, oxygen, hydrogen, etc. These are your elements. Clear? Now moving to compounds, they have fixed composition, number one, and they can be broken down into simpler substances by any chemical or electrochemical reaction. So in compounds you will write they have fixed composition, they can be broken down into elements by chemical or electrochemical reaction. Example will be your like water, sugar, salt, etc. will be your example. Water, sugar, salt, this is A, salt. This could be your example of compounds. Clear? So compounds have fixed composition. They can be broken down into elements by chemical or electrochemical reaction. Actually, two or more elements when combined together, they form compounds. Two or more elements when combined together, they form compounds. Clear? So compounds have fixed composition, and it can be broken down. It can be broken down into elements. That means elements are the smaller substances. In case of compounds, as elements combine together to form compounds, so in case of compounds, elements are the smaller substances. That's why compounds can be broken down to elements. That means to its constituent elements from which the compound is made. Clear? So compounds can be broken down into its constituent elements. That means its simpler substances by chemical or electrochemical reaction. So these are the differences between elements and compounds. Clear? Now moving to impure substances. Impure substances also, that means mixtures, can also be further subdivided like pure substance. Clear? So it is also subdivided by two parts. Impure substances or mixtures can also be further subdivided by two parts. One is your homogeneous mixture, another one is your heterogeneous mixture. Clear? So first one is your homogeneous, next one is your heterogeneous. Clear? Now what is homogeneous? A mixture having uniform composition. A mixture having uniform composition. What is uniform composition? That means the composition throughout the mixture is same. The composition at any point throughout the mixture is same. That is your homogeneous mixture. That means uniform composition. And heterogeneous mixture is non-uniform composition. That means composition at any point throughout the mixture is not same. That's why it is a heterogeneous mixture. Clear? So homogeneous is a uniform composition. That means it is uniform composition. Clear? That means mixture, the composition at any point throughout the mixture is same. That is your homogeneous mixture or uniform composition. And in case of heterogeneous mixture, the composition is non-uniform. That means the composition at any point throughout the mixture is not same. So it is non-uniform composition. Non-uniform composition. It is non-uniform composition. Example, what is the example? Homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture like sugar plus water. Whenever you are adding sugar to water and just stir the mixture with a spoon, the sugar will be absorbed in water or sugar will be soluble in water. That means you cannot separate sugar and water. That means it is a homogeneous mixture. Clear? So homogeneous mixture example will be sugar plus water. This is your homogeneous mixture. And another one is your water plus alcohol. Water plus alcohol. This is water. Water plus alcohol. So sugar plus water, water plus alcohol is your homogeneous mixture. And coming to non-uniform composition, that means heterogeneous mixture. For example, sand plus sugar. You try to mix sugar with sand, it will not mix. Both will not mix to each other. That means it is a non-uniform composition. So sugar plus sand is your non-uniform composition. Another example will be your oil plus water. Oil plus water, that means oil and water don't mix to each other. We know that. So oil and water will be your heterogeneous mixture. So these are the classification of matter. It is classified as pure substance and impure substance, that is mixtures. Pure substance further classified as elements and compounds, and impure substance are further classified as homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Clear? Now next, Next, now first one is your elements. The first one is your elements. So what are elements? It is a pure substance. It is a part of pure substance. Elements are a part of pure substance. So it is a pure substance which cannot be broken down or which cannot be split into two or more simpler substances. It cannot be broken down to simpler substances. Clear? So it is a part of pure substance. So what is the definition? The definition will be, it is a pure substance. It is a pure substance which cannot be broken down or split. You can write split also. It is a pure substance which cannot be split into two or more simpler substances. Two or more simpler substances. It is a pure substance which cannot be split into two or more simpler substances. So this is elements. Now elements are further classified as three parts. Now elements are further subdivided into three parts. One is your metals, another one is your non-metal, and the third one is your metalloids. One is your metals, another one is your non-metal, the third one is your metalloid. Now metals, you know the property of metals. Actually we have studied in previous class the property of metals are malleable, metals are ductile, metals can conduct electricity, metals are the good conductors of it. All these are properties, same thing here. Clear? So the first property will be metals are malleable. Metals are malleable, they are ductile. Clear? They are good conductor of electricity or heat. They are good conductor of heat. Clear? So these are the properties of metal. What is the example? Example will be your like copper, like iron metal, like gold. All these are metal, and there are many more. Clear? Copper, iron, gold, these are metals. This is E. Clear? Now coming to non-metal. Non-metals having properties just reverse of metal. That means non-metals are not malleable, they are not ductile, they are the bad conductors of heat. These are the properties of non-metal. So number one non-metal properties, they are not malleable, or you can write non-malleable. They are non-malleable, they are not ductile, or you can say non-ductile. Clear? They are the bad conductors of heat. Example, what is the example? Example, non-metal. For example, sulfur, oxygen, all these are non-metal. Sulfur, oxygen, these are the non-metal. Coming to metalloid. Metalloids are those elements having both properties of metal and properties of non-metal. That means metalloids shows properties of metal as well as properties of non-metal. The metalloids have both these properties. That means metalloid has properties of metals as well as properties of non-metals. Clear? So metalloid shows properties of metals and properties of non-metals. So metalloid shows properties of metals and properties of non-metals. Example, what is the example? This is very important. Example of metalloids. Example, for example, like arsenic. These are metalloid. Boron, metalloid. Silicon, So these are the example: arsenic, boron, silicon. These are the example of your metalloids. Clear? So elements part complete. Next, coming to compounds. Next we will study about compounds. Next after elements we will study about compounds. So compound, what are compounds? Compounds are a pure substance. It is also a substance. It is also a part of pure substance like elements. So it is also a part of pure substance, but they are made up of two or more elements. Compounds are made up of two or more elements combined chemically in a definite ratio. Compounds are the combination of two or more elements in a definite ratio. In a definite ratio. Clear? So it is a part of pure substance, compounds, and they are made up of two or more elements. They are made up of two or more elements. They are made up of two or more elements combined chemically in a definite ratio. In a definite ratio. They are made up of two or more elements combined chemically in a definite ratio. This is the definition of compound. Now what is the property? What are the properties of compounds? What are the properties of compounds? Number one property is they differ from its constituents elements. Now compounds, we know that compounds are made up of two or more elements. That means two or more elements are its constituent parts in case of compounds. So the property of compound will be different from its constituent elements from which the compound is made up of. Clear? So the first property will be the properties of compounds. The properties of compound, or you can say compound. The properties of compound differ from its. The properties of compound differ from its, or you can say differ from those. The properties of compound differ from those of its constituent elements. Those of its constituent. The properties of compound differ from those of its constituents, or you can say constituent elements or constituents. Clear? The properties of compound differ from those of its constituents, or you can add constituent elements. Clear? Elements. Number two property is compound has fixed melting point and boiling point. They have fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. So you will write they have fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. They have fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. Clear? Number three, constituent elements can be separated by chemical process. That means the constituent elements in compounds, they can be separated by chemical process. Clear? So number third property, constituent elements can be separated by chemical process. So constituent elements from compound, this can be separated by chemical process. Clear? So constituent elements can be separated by chemical process. Last property is that compound is a homogeneous substance. Homogeneous substance means they have uniform composition. Clear? So compounds are homogeneous substance. So compound is homogeneous. Compound is a homogeneous substance. Compound is a homogeneous substance. Clear? So these are the properties of compounds. Next we will study mixtures. Mixtures means impure substance. Mixtures means impure substance. So next topic is your mixtures. Mixtures, or we can say is mixtures, or we can say this is an impure substance. Now what is mixture? It is made up of two or more elements or compound mixed in any ratio. Now recall the definition of compound. The definition of compound is, it is the combination of two or more elements combined in a definite ratio. Definite ratio, that means the ratio should be definite, that means fixed in case of compounds. But in case of mixtures, this ratio is not fixed, this ratio is not definite. Clear? The ratio is in any proportion, it can be mixed in any proportion. This is the definition between compound and mixtures. Mixtures are also combination of two or more compounds or two or more elements, but the ratio is not definite. Ratio can vary. Clear? The ratio can be vary, but in case of compounds the ratio is definite. So this is the main difference between compound and mixtures. So what is the definition of mixtures? It is made up of two or more. It is made up of two or more elements. It is made up of two or more elements or compounds. It is made up of two or more elements or compounds mixed in any ratio or proportion. Mixed in any ratio or proportion. So it is made up of two or more elements or compounds mixed in any ratio or proportion. Clear? So what is the property of mixtures? They have also some properties like compounds. So what are the properties? So number one property is it may be homogeneous or may be heterogeneous. Compounds are homogeneous, but mixtures, they can be homogeneous and they can be heterogeneous. So we will write they can be homogeneous or heterogeneous or heterogeneous. They can be homogeneous or they can be heterogeneous. Number two property of mixtures is properties of constituent substances are retained. That means in case of compound, just recall the property of compound. In case of compound, the property of compound is different from its constituent elements. The property of compound was different from its constituent elements. That means property are varied. But in case of mixtures, the property are retained. That means the property of mixture and the property of its constituent elements from which the mixtures is made of, the property of both are same. That is, property is retained. Clear? So the second property will be your properties of constituent substances. Properties of constituent substances are retained. Clear? Number three property is it doesn't have any fixed melting point and boiling point. Compounds have fixed melting point and boiling point, but whenever we come into mixtures don't have any fixed melting point and boiling point. So the third property will be it does not have fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. Last property of mixture, elements can be separated by simple physical process. The elements, that means the constituent substances in mixtures, they can be separated by physical process. Just recall the property of compound. In case of compound, these are separated by physical process, but these are separated by chemical process. In case of compounds, In case of compounds, the constituent particles or constituent elements are separated by chemical process. But in case of mixture, the constituent particles, that means elements, are separated by simple physical process. Clear? So the last property will be your elements can be separated by simple physical process. Clear? So this was the property of mixtures. Clear? So that's all for today. We will continue this session or continue this chapter in the next session, and in the last session we will do some questions from this chapter and the chapter will complete. Thank you.